good morning, slash, very good morning. Good morning. Billy D's on the board from yesterday. CCS, Censored Citizen Scientist, he got up there. Grady, Great Unknown, he made the board. Looking awfully good up there. Is anyone else going to make the board today? Who wants to be up there? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. I'm glad to be here this morning. I'm glad to be here. I hope there's 22 of you, but only 14 of you are glad to be here this morning. Let me do the math. That's 6, 7, that's 8 people. Could care less if they're here. They're here, but they could care less. Almost you too, Alan. So, I'm going to start this out, Derek Anderson, the generous Derek Anderson. We'll have to talk about him later. Carlotta's one of 8. Carlotta, push that button. I'm not okay with that. Especially because I'm going to show something. Excuse me, I have a cough this morning. I am going to show something that Sandman sent me. So, check this out. Okay. Thank you, Gypsy, for pushing the like button. It's funny. It's weird and it's funny. The United States of America is a huge group of 50 different states, right? And each state sort of has its own personality, as it were. Oh, let me change these glasses. I don't want to wear these glasses. These are better for today. But each state sort of has its own personality. Well, then we also have regions. And we've taken regions and made them things. I grew up in California. I grew up a beach kid. San Fernando Valley to Santa Monica. Do you guys remember back in the 80s and the 90s, Valley Girls? Like, gag me with a spoon. Remember those girls? Those were my girlfriends. No kidding. That's exactly the kind of things my girlfriends would say. Let's go to the mall. Why would we hang out at the mall? What a weird place to go. Callie from the Valley. Do you remember the Billy D? Do you remember that though? The gag me with the spoon girls. Vegas was one of them. See, I'm reaching back into your nostalgia. We do that here a lot, don't we? Pops, are you old? Why do you do nostalgia all the time? I wasn't trying to do nostalgia right now. I was trying to do regions. Give me 10 people that agree that the United States is regionalized. We just are, and I'm not arguing. I'm not talking politics right now. It's sort of our cultures. We have different sections that sort of have cultures of their own. You got the Southerners, you got the Middle Westerners, you got your West Coasters, the Left Coasters, you got your East Coast, you got your Northeast, you have your, you know what I'm talking about? Are some regions better than others at certain things? Yeah. I'll give you an example. It would be hard to be a Tennessee guy and think you're going to be the world's best surfer. You got to move to somewhere that has a coast. You're going to have a really hard time surfing on Lake Okefenokee. Okay? But foremost, we're Americans, Adrian. Well, when I think of the South, I've never really had that many friends. In the service, one of the really neat things, so you're growing up, you're a valley boy, beach boy, you get thrown into the service, boot camp. First time in your life, you've met kids from everywhere in the United States. Anywhere and everywhere. Don't ask me why. And don't get mad at me if you don't live in this section. But for some reason, the Southern boys were I was more drawn to the Southern boys. I'm not saying anything. Maybe it's I just think of the hunting, fishing, whatever. I didn't know Michigan was Southern boys. Up here in Michigan, we're Southerners, just so you know. But I was sort of drawn to the Southern boys. And then the girls, oh my God, you give me a girl with a Southern accent? Has anybody heard Carlotta? Ping! I love a Southern accent. And then add to that NASCAR, you're right, Hags. Throw some NASCAR on top of that and forget about it. You know one thing we're not talking about here, though? The cooking. Give me 5 people that think Southern cooking is really good. Pick me one of the areas, and I have to go Southern. I kind of like Southwest because I could go Mexican food for the rest of my life and never eat another thing. I'd turn into a giant burrito, but I could eat burritos and tacos and enchiladas and chimichangas for the rest of my life. But oh my God. Mushmouth? Okay. Loudon. Isn't that, is Loudon, what's his name? Truex? Is that Truex's home track? I think that's Truex's home track. Talk about good food, good Southern food. About a month ago when Carlotta came up here, and Carlotta and Sandy and the kids, she cooked muffins, or the biscuits and gravy. Oh my God. You know who can cook that I know here? CCS's wife, Ellen. Chris's wife. Oh my God, her sausage gravy. And then she did a gumbo. Stop, drop, and roll, because you are on fire. It's so good. Okay, biscuits and gravy. So Sandy thinks that now everyone's going to be hungry. Daniel, that's nice of you to hold your wife up like that. She'll appreciate it. Who wants, I got to just play this. Why did we even talk about this? Because Sandy sent me a reel on my IG account. Tad rocked the kitchen good too. I agree with you, Kimberly. I agree with you 100%. Tad rocked the kitchen. I bet you do too, Kim. Why? Kim grows mushrooms just as much as Mike does there too. You guys need to know that. Kim was upset at me last week. She says, how come you're a male chauvinist, Pop? Pops is not a male chauvinist. He loves women and he doesn't hold anything. She was a little frustrated because I mentioning that Mike did Mike this and Mike that, Mike grow this, Mike. She goes, Pops, you realize I grow it too with him, right? And I'm like, of course you do. I'm sorry, Kim. I'm sorry. But I'm not a chauvinist. Okay? I do remember the ladies here. If there's anybody's show that concentrates on ladies more, holds up womanhood and motherhood, etc. more than me, I don't know who. So for a moment there, I was going to take it personal, and then I realized Kim has a point. I should mention that the girls grow mushrooms here too. Anthony, aren't moms the best? Moms are the best. So, got that cleared up with a good friend. Kim, I'm not chauvinist, and I apologize that I didn't mention your situation. Okay. Um, I want to play this. Hi, Kieran. Good morning. I want to play this video. We know for a fact Kim can grow. Kim grew before Mike got there, and she's more than half the reason they're growing now. Okay. So, Kim and MVP, good team. My bar got raised higher with MVP. That's a good way to put it. Okay, hey, let's play this video. So it's gonna. I hope it cracks you up like it cracked me up. Okay. Sandman sent this to me, and I saved it so I could play it together.
Carolyn, I'm a recovering Californian, and today's Southern lesson is
A
for
recovering
people on the West
Californian.
Coast. This is called a cast iron pan. They're illegal on the West Coast, but you can get them you can sneak them across the border from Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, any southern state. And you put food in it with this. This is called butter. We're not allowed to have this or carbohydrates in California, but if you can sneak yourself some butter in a cast iron pan, your life, oh my God, this is how to do things right. You're about to change your whole heart. If you don't watch it, you might be 500 pounds. But this and chicken, did you know chicken could taste good? Look at whole new world. You're welcome. It's Carolyn. I'm a recovering Californian, and today's Southern lesson is for people on the West Coast.
Did you know chicken can taste good?
It's called a cast iron pan. They're illegal on the West Coast, but you can get them you can sneak them across the border from Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, any southern state.
Any southern state.
You put food in it with this. This is called butter. We're not allowed to have this or carbohydrates in California, but if you can sneak yourself some butter in a cast iron pan, your life, oh my God, this is
cast iron skillet, not a pan, it's a skillet.
Your whole heart. If you don't watch it, you might be 500 pounds. But this and chicken, did you know chicken could taste good? You just look at whole new world. You're welcome. My name's Carolyn. I'm a recovering Californian.
Okay. I'm laughing harder this time than originally. That is funny. I grew up my whole life. I never had a cast iron pan. I grew up in California. I did not. My mom, great cook. We didn't have a cast iron pan. No such thing. I got a cast iron pan about a year ago. It's the only thing I use. Every other pan in the house, forget it. A cast iron pan, skillet. Cast iron skillet. Excuse me. It's not a pan. Kieran, I'll send it to you, doll. I'll make a note. Kieran, I'll send that to you. To me, that is to die for. You know they're illegal in California? Oh, jeez. First time, and Pops is one heck of a good cook. I am a really decent cook for, a guy. No culinary training or anything. And isn't it good to see Kieran, Kim? It's so true. Butter in California? Butter? And did you know that chicken could taste good? Sharon has one set for cornbread and one for everything else. Anyways, it cracked me up. Like, clearly I'm still laughing at it. And I love my cast iron skillet. All right? You know that last time we were in Tennessee in April. And they have the world's, somewhere on the way down there, really close to where we had our Mush Fest, they had the world's biggest cast iron skillet store. This thing's about 400 acres, Paige. There's about 400 acre store dedicated to nothing but cast iron. Unbelievable. I think they were going out of business though. They had some kind of crazy sale. And I never put the two together in my head how important cast iron is to Tennessee. Lodge cast iron, is that what it is? Cocaine bear, you have nothing to do with it. I have nothing to do with it, Jesus. I want the cast iron Dutch oven joint so bad, RX. You're so cute. I love when you call things joints. You have to be like super gangster to call something joint and get away with it. Imagine if Pops is like, oh yeah, I'd like to really, get me one of them joints. I'm like, oh man, what are you doing? Anyways, I loved that little video. And so what did I do? Of course I made myself a casserole, a cast iron casserole. We used to blow that joint. Everything's a joint, RX. I swear to God. You're such a crack up. You guys happy today? Is everybody happy today? I hope so. Let's play a game. Yesterday we got CCS, Billy D, and Great Unknown on the board. Today I'm going to play Put Your Thinking Caps On. Okay? This joint is lit. Cast iron skillets? Cast iron skillet joint. Is that what you would call it? A cast iron skillet joint? That doesn't even make sense. But RX could pull it off. Okay? Oh, Kim, travel and mercies to you. Cast iron skillet joint. People are like, how do you smoke one of those? Okay. Dutch ovens are cool too. Dutch ovens are really cool. Dutch oven you could cook almost anything in. Everybody's hungry now. Okay? Let's do a new game. This is a game we've never played before here. You guys know what a compound word is? What's a compound word? It's one word with two words in it, right? I'll give you an example of a compound word. Mountaintop. I'm not saying it's hyphenated either. But a compound word is a word with two words. Sometimes more. Right? So compound word. Cotton top, that's a good one. Anybody give me another? House paint, okay? That's a real good one, Billy D. Those are compound words. Gypsy Light says, yo mama. I wouldn't give it to fuzzy feet, Alan. That's more of a adjective. That sounds like an adjective. Jelly and fish, that's good, Trevor. That's good. All right, put your thinking caps on. Compound word day. Compound word day. I'm going to give you two things. You're going to put those two things together to create a compound word. Okay? One second real quick. Okay. So Carhartt's a good one, RX. Seaweed, those are all good compound words. Here's going to be the compound word I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you two things. You're going to put them together. The first one to come up with the correct compound word, or the one that I want, is going to, even if yours sounds cool, it's the one that I have written down. The first person to come up with it will either get to go to the spin to win wheel, or you're going to get a little choice prize. One or the other. Here we go. Machine to create air plus delivery. Go. Machine to create air plus delivery. What word would that be? Machine to create air. Trevor Slater. Trevor Slater nailed it. Trevor Slater, fan mail. Fan mail. Trevor, you're good at this all. Trevor, we already know Trevor's one of our smarty pants here. Good job, Trev. Okay, Jesus Christ, you're creepy. Fan mail. Did you see, you guys see how that one works? Trevor Slater. He's showing you guys how to think at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay? CCS says, I was thinking fart gun. That is creepy, CCS. That is creepy. Okay? I have a couple more. Did you guys like that? Trevor, do you want your name on the wheel for Friday? Or would you like me to send you 2 grams of Ghost today? Remember, you can only win once this week, so this is your big choice. You choose this or you choose the wheel. Which one do you want, Trevor Slater? You want me to send this directly to you? Okay, he's going for this. That's going to leave slots open on the board. Trevor, if you keep winning this week, that's okay, but I can't give you any more prizes this week. Okay? We're going to try to get as many prizes out to as many people as possible. Compound word game. Give me 10 people. Oh, I have to go pop silencio on you guys. Never mind. I'll get back to you guys when you like the show. I'm super sad. Hate it when I can't talk. I'll just talk to the professor. What do you think, Professor? Well, I think that I like you, Pops. I'm not sure why they can't just push a button. It's not that hard. I like you. Don't feel bad. I'm not doing it because I want people to like me. I'm doing it so that the more people can see our program, it boosts our viewership on the algorithm thing. Well, I like you, Pops. Ferdinand's doing good. He's hanging out. Ferdinand, so far they haven't gotten in any trouble yet. I know the professor would. So give me a few people said compound word. Do you want to play compound word again? Do you guys want to make it to compound? Do you guys want to play compound word again today? Carlotta, come on, people. You're watching Pops melt down. We'll do that. We'll play compound word again. I thought that was fun. I was sitting around going, what can I do that's entertaining, connecting, and helps people win? I have a couple of rando factos for you, and then we're going to get back to tearing down the reputation of G. Gordon Wasson. Okay? Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy, my man. So let's do a couple more rando factos this morning, and then let's go shred Gordon Wasson's reputation a little bit more as we build ourselves up. Anybody want to do that? Yeah, Pops. Why don't you just skip the rando facto parts and let's just go shred Wasson? Nerdy's like, yeah, screw that guy. Rando facto. Laura Devine's a rando facto lady. She sent me a couple of really interesting factos. Kim, let's tear him down. Let's gossip behind his back. Kim sent me a really cute email. I'm sorry, Laura. Laura Devine sent me a cute email. I wanted to share a fun fact for tea. If you use it as a prize, of course, I won't answer. See what she was trying to do there? The old sneak in a couple of questions. She knows the answers. Boop, how did I guess that? Wow, I hope Pops doesn't remember I sent him the question. Nice one, Laura. That wasn't very... The divine part was her saying, I won't answer. Yeah, sure you won't. Like, I won't. Oh, yeah, Laura. Tricky. Okay. Pops is teasing her. Does anybody ever notice that it's a Jedi mind trick, Herbie? Does anybody notice that Pops teases people? Big Al does. Pop teased him so bad he made him cry. Like, you're the person's like right on the edge. If you tease them, just give them one more little prick. One more little prick, they're gonna melt, right? You know that edge. You know where you're like one prick away. Do you go ahead and do the final prick? Do you? Do you just go ahead and get a boop, one final whoops? I didn't know you were gonna melt down like that, huh? Who does that? One pick away. Oh, did you guys want to do a fish story today? I didn't even remember to do a fish story. It's so late in the week. You guys don't be the extra pricker, okay? Don't be a prick. That's what they mean by a prick. Boop, the final prick. Don't do it. Laura Devine, do what Pop says, not what he does, okay? 163 of Bob Dylan's 542 songs reference the climate. He likes to sing about the climate. Blowing in the wind. Almost a third of his songs reference the climate. The climate. Musicians mostly like to mention weather in his lyrics. The Beatles are the number 2 weather reporters. Yeah, the hurricane. Beatles are a number 2 weather reporting songwriter group. They mention the weather in 48 out of 308 songs they wrote. 48 out of 308. What's that percentage, Hags? Bob Dylan's at almost a third, almost 33%. What are the Beatles at? 48 out of 308. Was that a quarter? No, it's a fifth. A sixth, it's a sixth. It's about a sixth. That's pretty crazy, right? About 1 out of 6 songs reference the weather. Interesting. Do you care what kind of shoes you wear? Are shoes important to you? %, Laura Devine. Thank you for the number. 16. That's about a sixth. 16%. Are shoes important to you? We were poor growing up. Didn't have much money at all. And thank goodness we were able to go to a parochial school that they paid our tuition, and we wore uniforms. Thank goodness we wore uniforms, because we would have been the laughing stock of the school with whatever outfits my mom could have cobbled together for us. But you forget how cool shoes are, or how important. I mean, unless are his Eyes getting donuts? Is somebody here named Eyes? Eyes is getting donuts. Good, congratulations. Hello, Eyes, and welcome here. Did I hear you're from Turkey? That is fantastic. I'm glad to see you here this morning. Whenever you first show up here, the group tries to give you chocolate donuts. So that's what, if you're seeing a ton of chocolate donuts, save 1 or 2. Okay? My mom made our clothes too, not the uniforms, but the stuff that we would wear when we weren't in uniform. Long story short, we couldn't afford shoes very much. I was the second son. My brother would get new shoes. I would get hand-me-down shoes. There's almost nothing worse in the world than hand-me-down shoes. Almost nothing worse. Because somebody else's stinky feet have been in there, they've all been formed. But boys, girls, we're growing out of shoes pretty fast, like once a year. Boop, 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 boop. Next thing you know, you're buying shoes all the time. So my mom, they're a little tricky. Well, you get your brother's last year's shoes. Great. I can recall the first time I got my own new pairs of shoes. I was in 6th grade that I got my first pair of school shoes of my own. I had PTSD about shoes. She took me to Kmart. Kmart was still a thing. You can pick out any shoes you want from the boys' shoe rack that are under $7. So I had the first pair of Crocs with laces. It's the worst shoes you've ever seen in your life. They were plasticky looking things. They were the color of baby poop brown. Yeah, they were baby poop brown. Worst shoes in the world. Well, these are going to be brand new. I showed up to school with my baby poop brown shoes on. And you think, oh, nobody's going to notice. It was the only thing they talked about at school for a week. Did you see Kirby's shoes? He got new shoes. Baby poop brown plastic Kmarters. I convinced myself then, and this is a true story. Now, I spent $300 on a pair of shoes. Clark's, whatever. My shoes are the most expensive shoes of anything in my wardrobe. I spend more on my shoes than I do on a watch. You know how they have the big shot watches? No, I got big shot shoes, baby. Wingtips and whatever. I don't slouch on my shoes. And I found this out. Those plastic ones from Kmart lasted me about 7 weeks, maybe 8. You get what you paid for in shoes. Why am I making such a big deal out of shoes? I guess because I'm still dealing with my PTSD. I'm working it out with you guys. This is a therapy session for me. I forgave my mom years ago. But I got PTSD over it. I'm like, I won't buy a cheap pair of shoes. I would rather spend $300 on a pair of shoes and know they're going to last me 2 years, and I'm going to have quality, and I'm going to have a beautiful pair of shoes, than I'm going to save a couple of bucks, let me swing by Target and pick up a $12 shoe. You have show trauma? I get it. But you know what's funny about shoes, and you don't realize it? Somebody just wrote it there. Shoes make the impression of the man. You could be wearing the rattiest clothes in the world, but if you're wearing a decent pair of shoes, and you didn't realize it, but of course they got studies about everything nowadays, right? They did a big old study about shoes. Jolie, no Target shoes ever. And I'm not making fun of Target. I'll buy a lot of stuff from Target. Not my shoes. Shoes, I got to wear them all day long, every day, and I got to look good and they got to feel good, and they got to last. I got to pay an extra buck for my shoes. Studies show that people notice your shoes or whatever you are wearing on your feet on a subconscious level before they notice anything else about you. Subconsciously, the first thing we do is look at someone's shoes at their feet. At first, I want to argue with that, but I think it's true. I honestly think that's true. I don't even want to argue with that study. I'm going to agree with it. You just sort of, and then you create this already, you have a judgment before you've even moved up to the leg. Shoes tell you a lot about you. It's weird because I'm not materialistic and I don't care if people think I'm fashionable or whatever. But I just know when people look at Pops' shoes, they either go Croc, because I wear the heck out of my Crocs, or if I'm going to do something with, I have my fishing shoes, I have my correct shoe. It's the shoe for the situation. I don't have a lot of pair. Dress shoes, my dress shoes are fleeky on point. I never want to show up with Kmart shoes again. It's an interesting study, and I believe it. Made me talk for an hour. And I'm working out my PTSD. You know those dog collars with spikes on them nowadays? Oh, it's so cool to have spiky stuff all over you, black leather with spiky stuff. Dog collars, spiky stuff. I'm like, I don't want that on rough. Every time I go to pet him, I'm going to prick myself. Why did they put those originally? Back in the day, way back in the first dog collar with spikes on it. What was that for? It wasn't to look cool in fashion. It wasn't to walk down the runway. Never you get it. Slow Jamistan. Why? MVP nailed it. MVP is absolutely right. They put that on there. Here's why. Dog collars that have studs and spikes are used for decorative purposes today. But originally those dog collars were used by shepherds who put them around dogs' necks in Turkey years ago to protect the dogs from wolves. I think if it's dog fight, you want them to be able to get each other's throats, so you don't wear them for a fight. You wear them as a protective against the bad dog outside. Has anybody ever had a tattoo they didn't want? Has anybody ever had a tattoo that they just didn't? I wish I could. There's an expensive process. You can even have a tattoo removed. That's the one reason I don't have a tattoo. I'm just afraid someday I'm going to wake up and I'm going to look at it and go, gee, I wish I didn't have you. I understand them. I get it. It's weird how our culture has like gotten tattooed up. When I was a kid, only like really tough guys had tattoos. Definitely not girls. Now girls, man, they got a whole sleeve. I'm not saying it isn't beautiful either, because you're basically a walking canvas of art. It's beautiful. But can you imagine? Okay, now I have one. It's my old girlfriend's name, and I got to get rid of it. So what do? Laser removal? It's poop removal. Did you know the only way to get rid of your tattoo is to poop it off? You think that the people that are getting laser removed tattoos are like, oh, the laser's taking it away. Yeah, the laser's removing the tattoo. That's not what's happening. Laser's not removing anything. First law of tattoos, no names. The laser doesn't actually take ink away when it's used to remove tattoos. Alan knows. It merely breaks down the ink so that your body can flush it out. So your tattoo technically leaves your body when you go to the toilet. Couldn't you imagine doing a tattoo removal and then you go wipe yourself and you read the paper, it says mom right there on the toilet paper. Wow, that one worked. I removed a mom. Whoa! Your old girlfriend Brittany. Tattoo removed, Brittany. Next thing you know, whoop, wipe myself, Brittany. Whoa! What are you doing on there? I'm being silly. I didn't know that though. I didn't know we actually poop our tattoos away. I figured the laser like poof somehow did a little poof-a-doof. I never realized that. It makes sense. It makes 100% sense. But I don't think you're getting away with anything. That thing's got to travel all through to get out. I'm going to give you two more. Cannabinoids. Cannabinoids. A lot of us here are fans of cannabinoids. We know where we can get our cannabinoids too, right? We even have a guy here called Captain Cannabinoid. Where do we get our cannabinoids? On the planet. Where do you get a cannabinoid? You wake up, I'd like to get a cannabinoid today. Where do you get them? Well, I think we all know you can get it from we all know that you can definitely get a cannabinoid from a marijuana plant, cannabis plant, right? Listen to this. Cannabinoids are a group of chemicals usually found in cannabis plants. Okay, we got that one. But they are only present in two other places. Wait a minute. I thought I could get a cannabinoid just about anywhere I wanted. No. You can find them in a cannabis plant, or you can find them in chocolate, or the human brain already has some cannabinoids in it. That's it. Daniel, Billy D, MVP, you guys all know it already. Chocolate's one of them. It's in the brain. You're born with it. You'll have a little bit of cannabinoid in you. You can put a lot in you from a cannabis plant. And if you feel like doing a little bit of tasty McWasty, get yourself a chocolate bar. 3 places in the world you can get your cannabinoids. Cannabis plant, chocolate, or it's in your brain. Interesting. The endocannabinoid system is amazing. I agree with you. How about one more? When I was a youngster, I was fascinated. I still am, but I don't have time for it. But I'm one of those guys that would read everything. I even read the back of a cereal box. You're sitting down for cereal. My brothers and sisters talking. I grab the cereal box. I have to read all the ingredients. I have to read where it was made. I'm just a reader guy. One of the things I remember that kept me reading when I was younger was one of my favorite books. And it'll come out every year. Besides the almanac, I loved an almanac, was the Guinness Book of World Records. Give me a couple of people that liked their Guinness Book of World Records. Guinness Book of World Records. He'd start flipping through and go, what the heck? Who did that? What? Whoa, that's great. I want to try that. Right? It's been a long time since I picked the book up and read it. But it was a good bathroom book, if you know what I mean. Guinness Book of World Record. I was like, that's pretty fascinating. Ripley's too, Joey, I agree with you. Ripley's, believe it or not, I liked Ripley's because they always gave you like a little cartoon picture of the story. Of the tribal guy. He had the longest bone in his nose, and they'd show you a little illustration of a guy with a bone that long in his nose or something. Ripley's was pretty funny. Guinness. Ripley's was a good one too, though. Let me tell you guys something about Guinness. The Guinness Book of World Records. I personally never knew this. So watch this. Sir Hugh Beaver was the managing director of Guinness Brewery. You know, the Guinness Stout, the brewery. I personally never put that together. I always thought Guinness, okay, Guinness, it's a nice name. But I never thought of Guinness and beer and the book. I didn't know that. Sir Hugh Beaver, managing director of the Guinness Brewery, unsuccessfully shot at a golden plover in 1951. And subsequently, he got into a debate on whether the bird was the fastest of all European game birds. So he missed the shot, but it was the fastest. I know that's the fastest European game bird. So he gets in a debate with his buddies about it, and at this point, he realized there was no research he could reference to settle the argument. So he made his own resource, and the Guinness Book of World Records was born. I'm going to prove it. And I'm going to prove a whole bunch of other crazy records, too, at the same time. One final thing. I could see this happening. Groupthink. Groupthink versus solo think. Anybody think that was pretty neat? That was pretty neat. The Guinness Book of World Records, how it got started. I never knew that. And I would have put it older than the early 50s, too. I would have thought it was around longer than that. Let me read this final thing to you from Rando Facto for today. We're running out of Wasson Terrorize time. Maybe we'll have to just shred him tomorrow. Let me read this. In the 1960s, Columbia University researchers conducted an experiment called the smoke-filled room, in which students were put in rooms and asked to fill out forms while smoke was pumped inside through vents. Students who were alone almost invariably left the room to report smoke. Strangely, when the students were joined in the room by actors who pretended not to notice the smoke, only 1 out of 10 of the students went to report the smoke. Most of the others kept trying to fill out their forms as they occasionally just waved the smoke away. I so believe that, and yet I would not, Kieran, I swear to God, I know I'm reporting the smoke. I am not just going to sit there and wave it away while all the girls in the room are coughing. And yet, that's a true statement to collective action. Don't be afraid to be the one to get up and go call the fire department. Don't be afraid to be the one to get up and say, I'm not going to sit in a room full of racists. Don't be afraid to get up and say, you know what, this is unacceptable social behavior. I'm not going to stay in this room with you people. Don't be afraid to be the one, because usually that's why you sit in a room. But I didn't really think it. You sat in the room. You're part of the process. This thing goes deep. That's the human brain. Let's do a compound word. Let's do a compound word. I'm going to give you two little definitions. I'm going to give you a definition plus a definition, and you're going to figure out what those two are, put them together into the one word. Okay? Musical instrument plus losing at a game. Go. Musical instrument plus losing at a game. Go. Put those two together and make a compound word out of it. Musical instrument plus losing at a game. Or losing at anything. You lost. You got drumsticked. Nope. You didn't alternate or fail. You didn't, I don't know. A musical instrument. And Kimberly got it. Kimberly got it. Drum beat. Drum beat. Drum rolled. That's pretty good, Bubble. Drum beat. Good job, Kim. That's correct. So we're starting to find out who the smarty pantses are here. Kimberly, musical instrument, drum, losing at something, getting beat. That's a drum beat. Kim, would you like your name on the board for Friday's spin? Or would you like me to send you 2 grams of Ghost today? Which would you prefer, Kim? 2 grams of Ghost, boop, sent out to you today, or put you on the spin to win reel? Which would you like? She's going for the spin. Kim, let's get your name up there, doll. Let's get your name up there. And we're going to do another one still here today. Kimberly the Golden Bolden. Congratulations, girl. Okay. We're out of picking on Wasson time today. We'll make up for it tomorrow. Trust me. I'm going to shred that. Excuse me. I'm going to shred that guy tomorrow. Okay? Get to spin around it. Yeah, that'll be fun for you, Kim. We're going to shred the heck out of Wasson tomorrow. But today, let's finish up with let's not try to be mean. Let's try to be nice. But finishing up here by being nice. And then we still have another compound word game. Get your brains on. Get your vocabulary ready. Okay? Parker J. Palmer says, I will always have fears. But I need not be by my fears, for I have other places within myself from which I can speak and act. Let's look at that. Fear, trepidation, procrastination, overanalyzing, depression, anxiety. There's a lot of words we can use that are all things that are fear-based. Fear is such a big word that it's a tough category to really talk about in terms of the whole category. So for today, take the word fear out of what we're going to talk about, and you insert one of your issues. My biggest past issue has been anxiety. I overthink, overanalyze, worry. How will that impact my image? That had been anxiety had been one of my biggest issues. I don't get anxious over a whole lot anymore. The mushrooms have taught me that. It's hard to be anxious over something I know is going to take me 21 days to cycle to grow. I know it. I've done enough tubs to know it's going to take me about 20 days from the day I start that tub to the. If I start getting anxious on day 12, start looking at the thing, and I'm day 13 of the day. I did that when I first started growing mushrooms. They taught me there's no point in being anxious, dude. We'll be here on day 21 when we're ready. And then when I started getting along with that, you can take a deeper breath. You start pacing your life accordingly. And then you get to thinking, boy, am I smarter than a mushroom? I want to think so. But it doesn't get anxious. I do. So who's the dummy? He's going to get what he gets. He's going to do what he does. Anxiety was a big one for me. And I wouldn't want people to know I was anxious, so I would isolate. I don't want you to know that I'm going through a mental health crisis. So what do? What do people that don't want other people to know what's going on with them do? They isolate. What happens when we start isolating? Because we're not supposed to be. We start getting depressed. We start closing the curtains. Hags gets it. We start holing up. It's so easy to do. That's the not facing it part. It's funny to talk to my friends here. Because every one of us get this. Every single one of us. Every single one of us sitting in this room right now are going, yeah, I get it. B. Hendricks, that's 100% what you do. If I've created new habits that are growing habits, a la 140 tubs worth of mushrooms going right now. That's an aggressive, positive habit that takes a lot of my anxiety away because I got a pattern. I know exactly what I'm supposed to do as soon as I'm done with the show here. I know what I have to do at 8:30 in the morning to get all of the equipment together and get to all the books and get a little thing. I got a pattern. Cleanie's like, hiding isn't normal. No, Cleanie. Healthy people don't do that. Kimberly says, when I can't hide, I just get mean. Yep, we do that. Fear's too big a category for today. Thanks, I love you. Fear's too big a category for today. Take one word and put it in there. Take one of your debilitators, your anxieties, your depressions, your antisocial disorders. Put any one of those in here. No feeling takes over our lives more suddenly or more completely than fear. Anxiety. It seems to come up from nowhere, and in a blink or a swallow, it can infect everything. How do blind people do it? Of all my senses, of all the 5 senses, I've been asked this question before. Which one would I most not want to lose? First, I could lose and I'll miss it, but I'll taste. Okay, take taste. As you get older, your taste buds start going away anyways. So you can have my taste buds. You can take my sensory. That'd be a tough one because I don't know. Maybe next I'd give up my hearing. Then, which one? Talking or feeling? But the one I could do the least without in my mind is eyes. I would least like to be blind. It's already hard seeing your like Hawkeye. Until I was 45 years old, I had vision of a fighter pilot. The reflex is almost 2. Racing. Now I have to wear glasses to, magnifying glasses, but I have to wear them to read. It sucks. How afraid of the world would I be if I was blind? How many walls do you think I'm going to bump into? How many things do I think I'm going to do and it's going to poke me and hurt me? How many steps do I think I'm going to take? One step and I'm going to trip and I'm going to fall. I can't imagine being blind and not living with just a multitude of fear. So this blind man, Jacques Lucéran, described how fear was the only thing that kept him from seeing. This is a blind guy. He didn't say his eyes are keeping him from seeing. He said fear keeps him from seeing. I missed whatever's going on with RX. Sorry about that. This is what Jacques Lucéran said. Still, there were times when the light faded almost to the point of disappearing. It happened every time I was afraid. If instead of letting myself be carried along by confidence and throwing myself into things, if instead, gosh, that's good, Higgs. Mine too. Mine too. That's so revealing of you, Higgs. And that's exactly what happens is then our mates, the people we love the most have to deal with our overt anger because we don't know how to handle our anxiety. So we take it out on the people we love. I don't know how they hang in there with us. Good morning, Streety. This blind guy says, if I hesitated, or I calculated, or I thought about the wall, the half-open door, the key in the lock, I said to myself that these things were hostile and about to strike or scratch, then without exception, I hit or wounded myself. The only easy way to move around the house, the garden, or the beach was by not thinking about it at all, or thinking as little as possible. Then I moved between obstacles the way a bat does. Otherwise, the loss of my eyes had not accomplished. It did not bring me fear. It just made me blind. More than anything, fear blinds. And only by stepping out, without hesitation, into the next inch of the unknown, can we build confidence in the life that we are trying to live. You hesitate, you be anxious. Oh, I'm gonna live in my anxiety instead of taking the step. Half a step, 1 inch into your unknown. That's progress and growth and health. Let's had some stuff said back and forth in here this morning. We've had some good stuff in here. Max Sloan, inch by inch, it's a cinch. That's cute. Honestly, some really decent stuff said in here this morning and revealing. Higgs, I really connect with what you said. I terrorized my mates because I didn't know how to handle what I had. You know how I would start I have an issue. The best way to talk to somebody about an issue is start a fight. Don't go over there and tell them, hey, the situation, can we talk about it? What you want to do is start a really big fight And then somewhere in the fight, you can yell what your problem is at them. And then it'll be their fault because you said it really loud and they couldn't hear you. It's a great way to communicate. Yell really loud and it'll be their fault because they couldn't hear you. Yeah, Streety. And then tell them to calm down. What? And I can tell you, Pop's lived this life for a long time. Trying to be holy, too. Living with someone that's holier than him. Let's really be good today. Let's be as holy as we possibly can. You know what you should do instead? Take a microdose, grow mushrooms, tell the truth out loud to every mom's. That's really cute. She's giving her, hey, she's saying she's seen major growth with you. A lot from my emails, etc. How the mushrooms are saving relationships. People in the relationships are like, you know what? I can't be that guy that I was or that gal that I was, and I'm having new experiences. And I think if you microdose together, you stay together. And it doesn't even take a lot of one of the partners isn't microdosing. They're seeing the effect. There's like, just like, this is the best medicine. I wish we'd have got this at the hospital 20 years ago. If they had just offered this to us at the hospital 20 years ago, Hags and Pops would have started being nicer 20 years ago. Am I right, Hags? I do too, D. I do too. All right, let's do a final giveaway. Let's do a final. Okay, this one, you guys ready? So this is a compound word. Right on the nose, Popsy. Compound word. I'm going to put two things together and you're supposed to come up with the full word. All right? So the first part is the place in church where you offer communion plus a person's lowest point. Go. The place in church where you get communion plus a person's lowest point. Mom's got it. Mom's got it. Alternator. That, by the way, is not a compound word. Alter, and then a nadir is someone's lowest point, or the lowest point on the horizon, right? Alternator. Kim, you said it too, but I ignored you because you already got one right today. Alternator. That is not a compound word. I just want you guys to know. Okay? Nadir. It's spelled Nadir if you're looking for it in the correct spelling. Moms, you got it correct. Okay, so moms, do you want to go on the wheel? Or would you like me to send you 2 grams of Ghost today? Jolie, you got it. You understand what Pops is doing. I'm not letting you guys get away with not saying alternator at least once a week. Okay, moms, you're on the wheel, girl. Here we go. Let's put you up there. I got to tell you guys something before you go. Wait. Moms. I prepared these words last night. I prepared the fan mail drum beat, and then I was like, how can I put alternator? I want to do alternator, but How do I fake them out with alternator? And I'm like, alter and a nader. I can do this. I can do this. I've been waiting all morning to pull this one on you guys. Okay? Been waiting all morning. So I could say alternator at the end of the day. Get out of here. Go have a good day. Go tease somebody. Go. Don't do the final prick, though. All right? Get them all the way close, but just don't make them cry. You guys go have a beautiful day. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. We'll shred Gordon Wasson together tomorrow. Okay, Billy D, I was anticipating it all since I thought of it last night. I can't wait. I hope they laugh. Okay, you guys go have a great day. I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Same much time, same much channel. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. Daniel and Jesus Christ and Achilles and Anthony and Billy D and MVP and Nerdy and I Lost You and Cleany and D Anderson. I got you good. I didn't get Mom's. Daniel Cunningham and Streety and CCS. Just steal his key. Harvey and MVP and I Lost You and Max Sloan and Flying Wing and Married Michael, how are you? And Kimberly and D Anderson and Jolie. And RX1 and Corey D and I Lost You and Jimmy Max and Hank Derbs and Silly Gal and Alan. Nice to have you here, Alan. Mike, Buddy Ball, and Jesus Christ. Moms, love you. Pidgey, Page, Aaron. Hippie meow, kitty. Hags, snap, have a good day. Justin Robinson, Nipper, Joey Portunalo, Gypsy, Billy D, Daniel B. Hendricks. Mike Baraball, Jesus Christ, Anthony Thornton. Badge 8, Vitamin D, get yourself some. Jesus Christ and Streety, miss you. Mushmouth and Kimberly and a Healthy Green. Healthy Green, first live show. Come back tomorrow so we can give you some donuts. Sandman, Jesus Christ, Key Rin. I got a note here. I'll send you that. Healthy Green and Cappy. And Nifra Mama, Gypsy Life, and Mike, and MDK, and Mike Brown. And Benny, Ben, and Achilles Chip, and Daniel, you too. And MDK, and Married Michael, and Laura, have a divine day. And Nurs Ratch, and MVP, and Maxie Sloan, and MDK, and ICXC. Okay, nice comment there. You guys pop, peace, love, kindness. See you guys here tomorrow. Out.